Um, Hello. Yes. Okay. 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 हेलो बोलो कुछ आप लोग आकाश कुछ बोलो
हेलो हेलो
हाँ
हेलो।
ठीक है इट्स वर्किंग ओके चलो ठीक है ये वाला आ गया है हमारा यहाँ पे तो इट्स स्टार्टेड यहाँ पे मेरे पास लिंक आ गया है आई विल जस्ट पोस्ट जस्ट होल्ड ऑन अरे हरविंदर सिंह भाटिया सर को प्लीज कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट करो उनकी लिस्टिंग कल सुबह सुबह है ठीक है सिंह यार कल सुबह लिस्टिंग है ही इज डूइंग एन आईपीओ सो प्लीज कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट हिम एज वेल और सर का एक अलग से पॉडकास्ट करना पड़ेगा मुझे कि आईपीओ में होता क्या है ऐसे में आईपीओ में हम्म, उसमें-
जो जो आपने रिपोर्ट शेयर करी थी ना मॉर्निंग में, अच्छी रिपोर्ट है। नाइस रिपोर्ट
कौन
टू
से
मी।
फुलमणि
So he has shared the report, right? The trends for this
हाँ
year, like first quarter. I saw it to some extent. थोड़े से लास्ट के पेजेस बचे हैं. What is the interesting thing? हाँ,
हाँ
चलो
उस पे हम वी ऑल्सो डू सम बिट ऑफ वीडियो कंटेंट बट प्रॉब्ली नेक्स्ट वीक करेंगे उस पे।
बताओगे इस
right
पे
है.
आज
Good.
यू वाना
हाँ,
यू वाना डीप
nice.
डाइव ऑन दैट अ लिटिल बिट टुडे 5 मिनट के लिए
हाँ
हम्म
नेक्स्ट वीक कर लेते हैं। आई थिंक आई
ठीक है आप
स्टिल हैव
कर लो
टू
अपना वाला निकाल लो हाँ चलो कूल अरे YouTube is not open what is you saying चल रहा है I hope that there is no issue and we'll just kick it off guys give me a minute as usual हम लोग थोड़ा सा फिगर आउट करने में connected to live yes we're live okay hopefully now more people will join in some time so guys first of all welcome to another edition of the Shark Tank special TBC Live, which has been going on for some time now. We basically dissect the startup news of the week, and for the past few weeks, we have been dissecting Shark Tank deals. Right, so without further ado, and for all of the people who had been waiting for some time, I will just move a little bit fast. Uh, जल्दी से फंडिंग न्यूज की तरफ जाते हैं and I hope my voice is clear for all of you guys. Okay, so funding news is hafte last week 450 million was deployed. This week 125 million has been deployed across 17 deals, 7 deal growth stage and 9 deals in early stage. In the 7 deals in the growth stage, सबसे ऊपर है share. Right, so out of 125 million, 103 million goes has gone to the growth stage deals, and only 20 million has been raised by the early stage their deals last week. So at the highest, at the topmost point is ShareChat, 49 million debt funding. Then comes AYE Air Finance. So actually, fintech hai. The next three are fintech. A Finance 16.5 million, Sindhuja Microcredit 14.5 million, Credit B 9.4 million funding. Then there is Add On Mo, which is an ad tech startup. They are basically doing 6.99 million. Then there is MobiQuick, which is basically doing 6 million debt which is ahead of an IPO. And then there is TAC Security, which is a cybersecurity startup. They're also going in for an IPO. They have also raised 1 million just before their IPO. This is from the growth stage perspective. Early stage, man, there have been 9 deals which have happened. Starting off with Bam Brew, which is a sustainable packaging startup. Bamboo वाले material से packaging material बनाते हैं. $7 million from Bloom. Super K, which is branded franchise retail chain, they raised $6 million from Bloom. Side Labs, which is into the AI security and risk management, they raised 2.5 million. Nomoex Global, which is a crypto exchange, weirdly a crypto company after a very long time. They raised $2 million. Then there is Area, which is in PropTech. They raised 1.8 million. Then comes Just Deliveries, which is in logistics. They raised 1 million. Then there is Elevate Foods that raised 500K. Dakia, which is an AI powered deep tech startup, they raised 750K. And then there is Karigar Mandi, which is a B2B footwear marketplace. They raised 250K. Coming to the cities, Bangalore, as usual, is number one with 5 deals. Then there is Delhi, which is 4 deals. Bombay, teen. Hyderabad, Kolkata, and Patna and Agra, one each. I think ये first week या फिर last week, ये तो मेरे ख्याल से 25th March और 30th March है. ईयर एंड था, इसी कारण से इतने कम डील्स हुए हैं, नहीं कुलमणि? Otherwise, there's a little bit more action.
Yeah, I think you can say that.
Hmm.
Usually, the quarterly overall number is around 3 billion.
Hmm.
So 12 weeks on average should be around, roughly between 250 to 300 million is the number we should be looking at. So this is much lower.
This is much lower. पर
Say 50-60% lower. Yeah,
इससे जस्ट पहले 400 मिलियन हुआ था. तो मुझे
right,
लग
right.
रहा है बैलेंस आउट हो गया वहीं पे. यूजुअली 200 to 250 मिलियन ही होता है. मैंने भी देखा ऑन एन एवरेज. That is where things usually lie. Um, cool.
You know what is the interesting thing is that we
Hmm.
are that we'll discuss whenever we discuss the quarterly insights. But
Hmm.
one of the things is that we are still below pre-COVID numbers now.
हाँ. Wow.
Yeah,
आपने
we were
अरे
doing more in 2019 Q2 and 2019 Q3 and Q4 on quarterly basis. So this
interesting.
buzz you see that startup is booming and all these things going on, data is telling a very different story.
Interesting. Interesting. आपने let's go through that data also यार next week. I think we should also one of the things that I was thinking is once the Shark Tank deals and everything get over and we go back to our usual news cycle, I think 1 or 2 episodes we should keep only for any of the bigger reports which are coming out now. We should go through the insights. जैसे ब्लूम का अभी निकला ना, तो ब्लूम का इंदस वाली रिपोर्ट का we
Yes,
should do
sir.
a dissection. Right. And any kind of analysis which has happened, we should bring in the people who have done the analysis and do it together like we did with Abhishek. That's a very good idea. तो वो हमें डेफिनेटली करना चाहिए. आई थिंक दैट कॉल्स दैट मतलब एक तो क्वालिटी ऑफ कंटेंट भी है प्लस एनालिसिस भी हो जाएगी साथ ही साथ. ओके, मूविंग ऑन जल्दी से.
We have something. We have something called India Growth Story, which is coming out, which is like a
अच्छा.
30-40 pages. So we can run that also.
Absolutely, sir. When is it coming out?
It's ready. It's ready. There is some meditation I need to do on some content, but otherwise it's been ready for a few months now.
मेरे साथ मेरे को दिखाओ, मैं आपको देता हूँ आइडिया सर. करते हैं. चलो.
Sure, sure, sure.
ठीक है. मूविंग ऑन जल्दी से बिकॉज ऑलरेडी हम काफी लेट हो चुके हैं अभी. um, एक मिनट. आई जस्ट होप इशिका इफ यू कैन जस्ट ओपन अप यूट्यूब ना एक बार देख लेना कि कहीं पे कुछ अटक नहीं रहा हो. ठीक है. ठीक है. ओके. कूल. मूविंग टू आवर वीकली. ओके. सो सबसे पहला डील is Nima.ai. This is in AI and neuroscience space. AI and neuroscience based edtech platform. 80 lakh for 5% equity. They were asking for 100K for 5% equity. उनको मिला है 40 लाख for 8% equity plus 40 lakh debt at 10% for 3 years. तो एडटेक प्लेटफॉर्म को भी डेट पे हम लेकर के गए हैं, तो आई हैव टू चेक कि भाई ये कर क्या रहा है ये। let me just see nima.ai. uh, nima.ai. मेरा नेट स्लो है शायद, as usual. Yep. Afternick.com for sale. Nima AI, not Nima.ai. Elevate your potential with neurofeedback. What is this? Tap into your brain's true potential. Okay. So they are saying revolutionizing growth with AI and neuroscience. Quick 5 minute brain scan can be life changing. In just 5 minutes of EEG scans, get smart insights about you. Memory, attention, stress. Your weekly plan recommends you train 45 minutes 2 times per week. Okay. Unveil the mysteries of mind with Nima AI's groundbreaking brain scan, a 5 minute journey into personalized cognition. Elevate your learning experience as we decode your यूनिक ब्रेन। ये डीप टेक हो गया ना टेक्निकली, है कुलमणि सर, ये तो डीप टेक है।
ये
आकाश ये तो डीप टेक ही लग रहा है मुझे। अब इसमें
यार
लेट्स।
इसमें ना, इसमें एक्चुअली दो चीज होती है, राइट? डीप टेक इज लाइक, इसमें ये है कि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल देयर मस्ट बी सम काइंड ऑफ बैकिंग टू लाइक व्हाट दे आर सेइंग, राइट? पहला तो ये हो गया। दूसरा, द सेकंड इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग इज दैट इज द डिवाइस बिल्ट बाय देम और नॉट? If the device is built by them, then I would say that it is like, then I would also say it is like the first leg of like deep tech. Second is, once if they have created the device, the insight which is created, was it created by them or not? If they are doing both the things, then I feel they will have a very big moat. But looking at the valuation, what they got, right, which is 40 lakhs for 8%, it seems very, very small, right? So I think one of the two things is basically missing. Either they are using some third party for the insights, or they are using the device like from the third party. So one of the two things. But if they are not able to build the device, then just creating the insights, I'm not sure what is the mode. First thing. Second is that what is their GTM? Are they basically selling to schools and like then to students, or they are trying to sell it directly to the students? If they are selling it to school, again, I mean, business might become slightly basically tricky if they are like trying to sell it to school and then to students. If they're directly selling to students through fear, or I mean fear or whatever, then maybe, yeah, then maybe they can build a scale. So that GTM, we need to understand what they're trying to do.
वैलिड फॉर स्कूल्स, फॉर कॉलेजेस एंड कॉर्पोरेट्स। ये देखो सर, फॉर स्पेशल स्कूल्स, so they are basically
Hmm.
targeting the special schools, one stop for slow learners and low
Hmm.
cost inclusive schooling. Okay.
Hmm.
5 stays, 6 schools, very small, I think। देखो
Oh, this
इन
is.
इनको तो वैसे भी वैल्यूएशन अराउंड 500K के आसपास की मिली है, विच इज वैल्यूएशन 500K की मिली है। दैट मीन्स कि
Hmm.
उतना ज्यादा एटलीस्ट शार्क्स को तो कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं था प्रोडक्ट के ऊपर।
AI
बट
startups में यार, AI startups 500 के valuation is very very low, very extremely low. Yes. 500K is extremely low.
हाउ डू इंडिविजुअल्स
They
एंड
have
कॉर्पोरेट
like she
बेनिफिट?
has also given 8%, right? So much.
हाँ मतलब डेट भी उठाया ना इन लोगों ने, 40 लाख डेट भी है इनके पास 3 साल। तो मेरा
हाँ,
तो ये क्वेश्चन है कि
तीन
भाई
का
एक
मतलब
तो
आई थिंक डेट उठाया तो
नीमा
आई
इंसाइट्स
थिंक ये
असेसमेंट।
मतलब साइट से क्लियर नहीं हो रहा है कि इनका मोड क्या है।
इनका मोड जो आप देखो, ये देखो, एडीएचडी डिसलेक्सिया इस वाले जोन में जा रहा है, एंड दे आर सेइंग बुकिंग्स
हाँ, right, right,
फ्रॉम
right.
फर्स्ट टू 10th बैंक। तो ये मेरे ख्याल से वही है यार, आई थिंक इट इज मोर अबाउट स्पेशल स्कूलिंग पीपल with little bit of
हाँ,
disability or a little bit of attention issues, uh, and they are targeting kids, ठीक है, बिकॉज ये एडटेक प्लेटफॉर्म की तरह ही खुद को पिच कर रहा है, राइट, एआई एंड न्यूरोसाइंस बेस्ड एडटेक प्लेटफॉर्म बोल रहा है ये। तो अबाउट अस भी एक बार देख लेते हैं, हुआ किस।
Sohail,
हाँ उषा, हाँ उषा।
yeah, a couple of points I have to make here. First of
हम्म।
all, when I scanned the website, I was not able to see on the homepage anything about medical certifications.
या
Is there anything in your knowledge?
नहीं 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 नहीं, इनका, इन लोगों ने कुछ पेपर्स पब्लिश किए हैं, ये देखो यहाँ पे इनको मेरे ख्याल से एकेडमिक प्रोग्रेस evidence, Navjyoti, Crystal House India, and a few places. They have just got some MOUs or some kind of a क्या certificate from
Because
these
my
people.
understanding of the human brain, I'm not a doctor, thankfully, because I can't stand the sight of blood. But apart from that, my understanding of the human brain is A, we don't understand consciousness. Secondly, ADHD has been misdiagnosed plenty of times, even by the doctors, and even the disorders such as, let's say, bipolar or manic depression can be misdiagnosed even by the most specialist of doctors. Is this being done as an aid to doctors, or is this going directly to consumers?
यार
So,
देखो,
this
हाँ,
is something that will need a lot of deeper study.
हम्म,
I don't see a GTM issue here because on a global scale, there will be a market. On in the Indian scale, I'm being very frank, there is no market. And I'm talking about minus 273.15 Kelvin. I don't see a local market in India. I have dealt with these issues. Uh, Unfortunately, I have had to deal with these issues. So people in India don't report mental health. Let's be very, very frank. Uh,
हम्म,
Being from a family of doctors, that I have some exposure to that line. So in India, I don't see a market. Globally, yes, definitely there is a market. This is something that is on which there is a research going. Uh, but as I said, it is way too early to call it because I don't think we are there yet. I am not comfortable with having AI delve into the brain. I am seriously not comfortable with it, and I'm sure there will be many people like me. Uh, I mean, I edit. I work with one of the most deep websites. I contribute content on artificial intelligence. And I am uncomfortable. That's all that has. The market, I don't see a problem on a global scale. If this
अब देखो,
succeeds and it gets medical approval, they approve.
अब देखो इसमें
It's just
दिक्कत
that a
की,
person, and this is personal comment, personal observation for me. I am seriously uncomfortable allowing AI into the brain. That's the only thing. Otherwise, this is a win. On a global scale, my only advice to them is to go global. Sorry.
then you will hate Neuralink, no? Neuralink, though, I think it's just directly going into the brain. But coming to the point of what you were saying, Akash, they use emotive EEG headsets, which are emotive products holding CE and other regulatory approvals, ensuring that they have undergone assessment by independent body for safety. Their products have received full safety
Mm.
certifications and comply with wireless interference standards in Europe, Australia, and North America, as evidenced by the CE marking and internationally recognized standard. तो इनका headset नहीं है, ये लोग बस उस हेडसेट के डेटा
Right,
को एनालाइज कर रहा है, ठीक है, तो ये तो मतलब आई डोंट गेट
right. So
दिस
there,
बिजनेस।
hmm,
ये नहीं चलेगा, ये कैसे चलेगा बिना, इनका मोटिव नहीं है कुछ।
right. Right, right. But see, then there is no moat as such, right? Because
या
anyone can buy that device and then just build some dashboards on top of it with the help of some kind of experts, right? Who understands how to look at the data, right? And I mean, I think in terms of the market, I think if there is a people, right? If there are parents whose basically child is suffering with ADHD and all those things, right? They would be willing to like try these kind of device, right? Because so I think there is a market. I mean, there's no issue Even maybe the market might be smaller, but yeah, there is a market in India.
क्या लगता है कुलमणि सर, एनीथिंग यू वांना ओपाइन ऑन? क्योंकि मुझे तो ये कंप्लीटली, दिस इज नॉट अ बिजनेस व्हिच इज इन्वेस्ट
Hmm.
मतलब इन्वेस्ट करने लायक तो मुझे
Yeah.
लगेगा। क्या लगता है आपको?
So I think two or three things I would like to highlight. So healthcare is one sector which I've been involved in for last decade or so. And these kind of tests, right, where they tell you this kid is going to be good in some kind of mathematical ability, is going to be this tall or those things. Uh, I saw this kind of reports being done in other countries. Probably this is 2024, so probably 12 years back in UK and US. These have been there. It's nothing new. My friends' kids, they are doing it more advanced from genetic point of view. But one disclaimer I will put: we only understand 0.01% of our human DNA, or less than that.
Oh.
99.99% is black matter to us.
Hmm.
And here we are talking about neuromarketing and mimicking neurons and mimicking neural activity in our brain. That is even tougher.
Hmm.
So what they have done right is the marketing lingo they have used is like neuromarketing. I remember 20 years back, Castrol used to have a ad called liquid engineering. There is nothing
Liquid
called liquid
engineering.
engineering. Yes.
I
So that's
remember,
all
yes.
marketing. Similarly, neuromarketing and whatever they're saying, it's good marketing. Unfortunately, the early stage ecosystem here in our country has made it okay to use this kind of shallow language and made it acceptable. So
Hmm.
one is we don't understand this a lot. Second is the psychometric tests they are referring to have been around for 15 or more than that, have been used widely in other countries. Third is about moat. I think moat, because Akash referred in a lot of times, I think we give this feedback to the founder that you don't have any differentiation. Right? I don't think that's a fair feedback because sometimes different, execution in itself can be a differentiator. It can become the way you execute things. Otherwise, is Google 100,000 other companies were trying to make it right. So many other people. So we should not look for more. They are probably good at marketing. They probably are not doing anything new, and somehow the early stage ecosystem accepts this. So I don't know why are we accepting these kind of startups, but and see if they were to do a serious research, they will need a much bigger check with a long drawn out timeline. If they were to make a serious impact, it cannot be done for 80 lakhs. 80 lakhs is nothing, right? If they
What?
were to see it, they
Never.
will probably need hundreds and millions of dollars to do this
Hmm.
seriously.
Hmm.
And that will be a public-private partnership project. It will not be done by only a private player. Government will not allow that, probably.
There is a Reddit thread called "Did anyone understand how Nima got a deal?" Uh, okay, interesting. Chalo, I think we can move on to the next one because this is not a. I don't get. Again, as I said, मुझे भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि इसमें पैसे डाले कैसे गए because number one, uh, this is not this is not something which is approved by any kind of medical authority. ये तो फिर वो स्नेक चार्मर वो बोलते हैं ना, स्नेक ऑयल सेल्समैन वाला जो फंडा होता है, वही वाला फंडा है फिर तो।
Yeah,
एंड आई
what we call
Suhail,
what
from the
what we called धंधा in Bharat ना,
हम्म
same सोच, धंधे वाली
हम्म
सोच है जो whatever we can sell and then later on we'll
हम्म,
see,
हाँ बेच
get the
देते
money.
हैं फिर
Yes,
देखा
the
जाएगा।
GTM would be
हाँ
very clear here. The GTM, as I think it was Akash who said it, the GTM is quite clear here. The only difference of opinion we have is he says there's a market in India, I say there isn't. Apart from that, we are on the same page globally. The GTM here is, see, they are giving you memory score, they are analyzing support systems available in other countries where this can be actually be of use, provided I said my one the caveat here is they should have some kind of medical approval. Maybe it's in the works, maybe it's there somewhere on the website, we don't know yet. If they have that, then globally GTM will not be a problem. But I think the
देखो
question that we then this is a global gap. This is actually a global gap that has nothing to do with business. We need to, as a society, as a human race, we need to ask ourselves: do we want AI fiddling around with the brain? Happily, in this case, they are not actually fiddling around with the brain. They are just doing some analysis based on some the neural inputs.
Scans,
That's fair,
yeah.
but that's black box. But AI is a black box. We don't know what is happening. It's a very risk-oriented take, but I think that's something we as a human race need to ask ourselves that question. From the GTM perspective, I can see why it's being funded. It is a
हाँ,
brilliant cause.
ये
Why
तो
not they have their technology in place?
स्पेशल स्कूल्स को टारगेट कर रहे हैं यार ये, बट आई थिंक सी देख, एक तो यार इनका बहुत ही डेलिकेट टीजी है। सेकंड, मुझे लगता है कि यार ये ना थोड़ा सा तो मुझे क्रेडिबिलिटी का गैप लग रहा है इसमें। आई विल से एनीथिंग मोर बिकॉज इन लोगों ने यार, मैं आई जस्ट शो यू एन एग्जांपल, इन्होंने होम पेज पे दे हैव गिवन अ फ्यू ऑफ दीज नो टेस्टिमोनियल्स, बट यहाँ पे ना दे हैव गिवन समथिंग व्हिच इज articles. Yeah, they have given the science of this thing. They have put in articles. These are all articles which they themselves have written. ठीक है? So I don't know. Plus the website also is fairly basic. So hopefully, I mean, again, hopefully this works. All the best to the founders and congratulations as well. But थोड़ा सा dicey मामला लग रहा है मेरे को नीमा AI के केस में. चलो, I think let's just move on to the next one. This is spec ops. This is tactical clothes for military. ये तो डायरेक्टली डी टू ये तो डायरेक्टली मतलब डायरेक्ट टू गवर्नमेंट है, D2G है ये।
No,
टैक्टिकल क्लोथिंग फॉर मिलिट्री, क्या बोल रहा हूँ? यू सेइंग समथिंग?
not investable.
बेस्ट मिलिट्री गियर है सर ये। तो ये क्या ये तो ये तो डायरेक्ट आपका एक ही कस्टमर है और कोई नहीं है। बट हाउ इज इट spec ops have been designed keeping with the requirements of India's elite special forces? इसको किसने पैसा दिया है? So they asked for 80 lakh for 2% equity, 100K for 2% equity. Basically 5 million का valuation मांग रहे थे. They got 40 lakh for 2% equity plus 40 lakh debt at 12% for 2 years. इसमें पैसा डाला है अमन ने और अमित जैन ने. Interesting. मिलिट मतलब D2G है सर ये तो, इसमें आई डोंट नो अनलेस एंड until they already have some government contract. अच्छा अच्छा, एक मिनट देख भी लेते हैं। फाउंडेड बाय मेजर अनिल मलिक, an ex special forces officer, so he already has connections. Major Malik spent his career in active counter insurgency. He also fought the Kargil war for displaying valor in battle. Okay, okay. There are authorized
Wait,
resellers.
you can order some things here, right, from your own
Yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
portal.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
what
right.
what what are they doing? Like Black Lives Matter kind of protests where people are wearing reinforced gloves, those kind of things. Who is going to buy those things? I'm just curious.
These are
Same thing, right?
regimental caps,
Okay.
स्लीपिंग बैग्स, टैक्टिकल गियर भी खरीद सकते हो सर आप यहाँ पे मिलिट्री वाले। देख रहे हो, ड्रॉप डाउन
Oh,
थाई होल्स्टर, टैक्टिकल नी एल्बो, टैक्टिकल मेडिक पाउच विथ मोल, apparels, backpacks, rain gear, sleeping bags, winter wear and tactical gear. एक्सेसरीज भी है, बेसबॉल कैप्स, बेल्ट्स एंड जंगल हैट्स। तो इसने देखो, आई थिंक दिस इज वन आर्मी गाय हु वाज प्रोबब्ली रियली पैशनेट अबाउट स्टार्टिंग अ बिजनेस एंड देन ही सेड कि चलो मैं मिलिट्री को कपड़े बेचूंगा। मुझे तो वही लग रहा है। देयर इज अ सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एंगल, सो सीएसआर में भी खेल रहे हैं क्या ये? सोशलिज्म लिख के रखा है, कुछ है नहीं इसके अंदर। मतलब ठीक है, यू रियली कांट ब्लेम हिम फॉर नॉट हैविंग अ ग्रेट वेबसाइट। हाँ, मुझे लग रहा है वैरायटी के लिए इसको लाया गया है क्या, लेकिन ये 40 लाख डेट बिल उठाया है यार इसने। आई एम मोर
yeah. I mean, two things.
मेरे
I think the guy doesn't seem that senior. Major is
हाँ
not a the senior rank in the army now because the entry is
हाँ
at captain level. He has a Seva
हाँ
medal, which is respectable, and we respect and celebrate his achievements. Mm. But see, an organization like Army, even if you think about scaling this business, always has multiple vendors for everything. They only will
हम्म
give you a part of the price. So you can't
हम्म
scale beyond a certain thing. Even if you supply food items to the army, they want to have it from multiple folks because they always have this contingency money. What if this happens and that happens? Our supply will be hampered. So one is this scaling thing. Second is that they could, for exporting, I don't know if they will need approval from the government, right? Because that for technical gear, that angle will also be there. Like which countries can they sell it to? Can they sell it to Bangladesh? Can they sell it to Sri Lanka? I don't know. They may need
और
clearance
only for
from
India.
yeah, or only for India, right? That could be another. They could sell it to African countries or other or UN. They could do manufacturing for UN peacekeeping forces. Multiple angle from that. Will be largely, I think, manufacturing he could outsource, right? He doesn't need to build all the capacity in house. He could keep it asset light. But you think there will be demand from adventurous buyers also, like bike enthusiasts buying like these army
तो
printed
धंधा नहीं है
things?
ना सर, वो तो वो तो शौकियाना चीज हो गई ना, वो तो आपका मार्केट नहीं हो सकता ना अनलेस एंड अनटिल यू आर इन द बिजनेस ऑफ केटरिंग टू दैट काइंड ऑफ दिस थिंग। इनका मेजर धंधा तो ये बोल रहे हैं मिलिट्री से ही आ रहा है, 90% इज मिलिट्री। हाँ तो देखो यहाँ पे देखो, स्टेट्स विद यूएस स्पेशल फोर्सेस, ठीक है,
Hmm.
तो यहाँ पे हो सकता है दे आर ऑलरेडी ऑलरेडी डूइंग 8 CR का रेवेन्यू।
Yeah, he can't
ठीक
do
है,
stint with US Special Forces. They might have done joint exercises. That's
probably probably
you can't
probably
probably joint exercise more likely.
yeah yeah. So what he is saying is dedicated to enhancing soldiers' efficiency, directly serving soldiers, not government channels। ठीक है, so soldiers can direct, ये D2C कर दिया है इन लोगों ने soldiers के लिए directly, and he's already doing 8 CR का revenue, which I'm weirded out कि why would a military guy buy his own gear? Um, okay, interesting. अच्छा, the company's flagship
I
product
suggest we move on.
offers,
Sohail, I don't think we know enough about
yeah.
this, so I think let's move on. That's why I've been silent. I've been thinking what to say, but I really don't know enough.
चलो
We need somebody with insight into the military operations. So just
ठीक है, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं। काबिल किड्स विच इज इन ऑनलाइन चेस ट्रेनिंग एकेडमी। आज 10 नहीं करेंगे सर, आज बस 5, आज बस 6 करेंगे हम, ठीक है, वी आर ओनली डूइंग 6। काबिल किड्स ऑनलाइन चेस ट्रेनिंग एकेडमी, 70 लाख पर 2% इक्विटी मांगा था, 50 लाख for 2.5% equity plus 20 lakh debt at 12% for 2 years. Interesting. Valuation dropped to fine, but Bill Kids. Bill Kids. Online chess training platform. ये भाई समय रैना के आने के बाद से ये सब चीजें चालू हुई हैं। Okay. Professional chess training made affordable and accessible with the best online chess training platform. 5,000 plus students enrolled, classes conducted. It's a good idea, but I remember जो sports के जो हमारे बाकी सारी discussions भी हुई हैं, is chess or any non-cricket game that you're targeting, how do you evaluate the market size and the potential for these kind of games? Because there are a lot of uh, game specific services or platforms or products which get created, but because उस गेम के अराउंड ज्यादा कुछ हो नहीं रहा है in India, so the chances of these things going up goes down. इसकी कॉस्टिंग भी एक बार देख लेते हैं just to so that we can have a more clear discussion. So फाउंडेशन कोर्स इसमें लेकिन मेरे ख्याल से दाम नहीं डाला है तब 24/6 मंथली पीटीएम 3 महीने 6 महीने 6 महीने um 6 months 3 to 6 months then there are demo classes how do I teach how can I learn how is important what is your take on this Vishal Kulmani on something like chess a chess learning platform इसका मैं रेवेन्यू भी देख लेता हूँ साइड बाय साइड
I think this is actually a good play. It will depend upon how they take it to the market. Marketing is going to be a key element here. But let me just correct you that chess doesn't have a purchase in India. In fact, chess is almost a household game. Because I have played chess and I said, okay, I was pretty serious about the game. That's a different issue. But everyone has memories of at least 70% of the, that's a wild guess, by the way, have played chess at some point in time. And since the rise of Vishwanathan Anand and some of the other grandmasters, it is now catching on. So it's the right time at the right place, the right decision at the right time at the right place. Second question is, can chess be learned that way? Can you become better at chess? Definitely. Because chess is basically a learned game. You require some innate ability, some innate talent. That is true. But we are a country of 1.4 billion. Ballpark estimate, there must be about 250 million, 200 million kids in India. The age group of 10 to 20 would be, or 8 to 20 would be in the region of 200 million, the ballpark, yes. It may even be more. So definitely there is talent there. It's just a question of tapping it. So I don't see any challenges in that, especially since the rise in the past 3 years of several new names in the field of chess from India. So this is a rising field. Uh, if you're looking at from a cricket or badminton mentality, it's sports which have had a long history in India. Probably you will not find that kind of traction. But the assumption that Indians don't play chess is, I think, slightly misplaced. From my own childhood memories, I mean, we would sit and analyze. We would sit and analyze chess games. Uh, we learned the Queen's Gambit, and we were pretty serious about it. We would understand how Bobby Fischer played, how the greats played. I've done that. I may have been good, I may not have been. Let's leave that aside. But the point is that there is an immediate recognition of this in India. It will not be like cricket. You won't get a customer in every household. But I'm sure, properly marketed, if they can figure out how to reach their target audience, and once they define their target audience, once they understand what kind of children would like to play chess, so long as they stay away from the basic assumptions that would like only introverts play chess, which is absolutely not the case. So long as they may stay away from such obvious divergence, and they get their target audience straight. But thereafter, it's just a case of solid marketing. I haven't yet looked at their what is the cost of the process. So it, it depends. It depends on the cost as well. The challenge here is there's no such thing as all good. The challenge here is, will you be able to convince parents to invest into these courses? Because remember, it's not cricket. Now in cricket, with the rise of IPL and with the rise of India's fortunes, even in international cricket, it would be much easier to convince a parent to invest into a child's learning in, say, a cricket academy. But a chess academy, a sport which is not known to, it may be providing the chess, I don't know. But it is not known to provide the same kind of monetary rewards. That is anybody's guess. So it's the right move at the right place at the right time. But this is a pure play marketing game. Get your target audience right, figure out how to reach that target audience, get your conversions in place. It's a game of conversions. I will not say hardcore sales, because if they make the mistake of going into hardcore sales, they will get fundamental class enrollments. So in the 1, 2, 3, and 4 levels, the other levels, there will be no progression. So it has to be concept selling. They have to choose who is coming into their program carefully. if they allow just anybody, person like me who has zero talent, so who just there, who because of a fascinating love for the game, you can just sit and watch people play chess. That I'm not the kind of profile. So
उनका
how they,
बड़ा sorry sorry go on.
yeah, it's how they enroll. It's an end-to-end marketing game. It's if they fall into the trap of digital marketing and just about anybody enrolling, I see trouble down the line. Nothing that cannot be handled, of course, with those pure right moves. They can also handle that trouble. But if at the outset they get that audience right, their parameters of the persona right, what kind of audience persona they want, the ICP, the ideal customer profile. Once they have that in place and ensure there are strong processes to prevent sales teams from gaming the system, the risk in this I see only one: sales teams gaming the system, getting good initial numbers, fundamental course on enrollments, drop-offs at levels 1 to 3, and that is a major that, and I cannot understate that risk. Look at Byju's, what happened when
हाँ,
sales runs amok. It
ये
could lead
बोल
to
रहे
trouble.
हैं ये बोल रहे हैं 2 करोड़ का रेवेन्यू किया था लास्ट ईयर इन लोगों ने। ठीक है, इनका जो कॉस्टिंग है जो मुझे समझ में आया इट्स टेक्निकली 1000 फॉर इंडिविजुअल्स, इट इज 1000 रुपीज पर सेशन एंड दे सेल इट इन बैचेस ऑफ 12 टू 24 टू 48। ठीक है, और ग्रुप में भी अगर आप करते हो तो ग्रुप में आई थिंक इट्स फॉर अ ग्रुप it basically comes down to 4500, which is I think per person 4500 हो जाता है, I think, I don't know, sorry per person नहीं for, हाँ ठीक है। So इनका ओवरऑल 2 करोड़ का अगर कर रहे हैं सो दे आर बेसिकली, एक तो आई थिंक दे वुड हैव अ लॉट ऑफ वर्ड ऑफ माउथ हैपनिंग इफ दे आर गुड, राइट, एंड देन दे हैव द डेमो, तो एडटेक की तरह ही बिक रहा है, ऑनलाइन ही है, एंड दे आर हेविली, मुझे जो समझ में आ रहा है कि सेल्स फोकस्ड ही है। प्लस काफी पुरानी कंपनी है, 2019 की कंपनी है, ये ऑलरेडी 350 85 के उठा चुकी है, एंड दे बेसिकली पिक्ड अप द मनी 250 के इन 2022, 250 के उठाया था इन्होंने जुलाई में, और अभी मेरे ख्याल से नाउ दे हैव कम टू शार्क टैंक 2022 में करके इन्होंने 2 करोड़ का रेवेन्यू बता रहे हैं ये unaudited. Last fundraise got delayed by 6 months. We literally operated without any cash, survived on debt, pay cuts, etc. ठीक है. We learned that value-based pricing is the key to building a long-term sustainable business. Okay, product offering has to be 10x. अच्छा ठीक है. Last, we realized we travel more. Okay, what's your take at Chess Academy 5 to 15 years? Kulmani, Akash, any thoughts, so we can move on to the next one?
One thing, if you can check, right, they are teaching through the teachers or through some kind of like machine learning. I think they have not mentioned
Teachers,
any
teachers.
artificial intelligence like teachers, right? So there are
Yeah.
sites like there are some US startups which can do it just with the I mean, so what they do is that at an early stage they do it through the like machine, right? So they actually teach some courses, like so they actually teach some basically chapters with the machine, and once the student actually is able to learn the basics with the help of the like this like artificial intelligence, then they move to basically teachers, and with that, right, they are able to scale. And I mean that startup is basically companies like chess.com. Last I checked, they are making a lot of money, right? So what I feel is that I think 100%, I think the idea looks good, but when it comes to like expanding, right, I think one issue might come in terms of the teacher. They might have to venture into like artificial intelligence later on
Grand
for smaller
master है
files.
sir. They hire grandmasters
And
for
okay, right.
Akash,
mentorship.
so just one thing here. That is a different model because I tried to learn from books. It's the same thing as learning from an AI model, right? I tried to learn chess from books. I studied. I cannot tell you how many chess books I've studied, and I know where it got me. So uh, I don't think chess can be learned from books. You do require somebody to see. Bro, it's
Teacher.
one thing to know moves. It's another thing to decide when you're on the chessboard and analyze the various lines of thought that are there. That's where the skill lies. And being able to know, see that okay, sacrificing my rook can get me a freer board, can help me open up the board for an attack from the queen side. So those are the kind of decisions people like me are unable to take, right?
Mm.
Because maybe it's a lack of talent, maybe it's a lack of depth perception, maybe it's a lack of understanding of the moves. Could be anything, but that's where the coach would be really helpful and understanding where the bottlenecks are in playing the game and moving it forward. So
Mm.
my slightly above layman's level understanding of chess would tell me that this is a good move. It is not comparable to the online learning models that are there. The challenge, as I said, there's one other challenge when you took me through the numbers I spotted is scalability will be a big challenge in terms of revenue they can grow to. I really don't know if they will have to go global, but if you look at it, 2 crore translates to about 12,000 full, 2,000 full sessions of one about of the foundation course, right? 12,000 rupees. If you do a straight division, you get 1667 or something like that.
हंड्रेड हंड्रेड
So,
थाउजेंड क्लासेस बोल रहा है सर टोटल अभी तक हो चुका है 1 लाख.
right, 100,000 हुए होंगे. I'm telling
सर
about one full course. I'm told, see, the challenge is not how
इसमें
many classes you will
इसमें
take. How many
इसमें आप ये भी
have
देखो ना.
gone through the entire course. That's when they will earn the real money. Na?
या
How many
या सो
students have joined at the foundation and passed out to the FIDE? That's
यस
when chess
एग्जैक्टली
atmosphere will grow. That's when our
एग्जैक्टली.
country will become a chess powerhouse. I suspect that is their plan. So they have a long ways
या
to go. I'm
See,
really
what you're
excited about
saying,
this,
right?
but let's
You are
not
saying
downplay the
customer,
challenges here.
you are
That's where
saying customer lifetime value maximize कर रहे हैं. They start with the foundation level 1, level 2, level 3 पे they are saying perform at
and
national
please
level
come back for
tournaments.
me. I may be wrong.
And then there is a rating course
But
where
I
you
may
are
be
a
completely
FID
wrong. If
rated player.
so, my apologies to the company.
हाँ.
So here, just one last point.
Hmm.
My apologies to the company if I'm wrong on this, but I can see that there may be drop-offs after the foundation stage because that's what the numbers are telling. If you've got those many classes, but if I do a slate revision by a foundation course, I get just a figure of 1667. Early days, early days for the company, I don't see that as too big of a problem. But if they can succeed in pushing a sizable number of students all the way through to the FIDE level, I think we as a country are through in chess. We need a lot more
So,
such initiative.
So
I think,
just like,
हाँ
hmm.
बोलो बोलो आकाश. हाँ.
Yeah, so regarding the like artificial intelligence part, right, what Vishal has mentioned that I think we need a human. So I basically mentioned like that only. But if you see, right, lately what had happened that artificial intelligence has reached to a level where the lower skill part, right, it can be replaced by artificial intelligence, be it like text, right? If you want to write a very simple blog or if you want to write a simple thing, right, very simple thing. So artificial intelligence has replaced it. Similarly, in basically chess.com also, they have built this artificial intelligence like modules which would explain the basic level of which will explain the basic level of basically concepts. Once like that is done, after that only they have basically I mean the teachers who would actually explain it, and that would make it. I mean the second point what you make like said about scalability, right? So this is how they can make a scalable business if they do it that's in this way, I think.
अब AI का जहाँ तक बात है ना, I think it's more about having somebody physically with whom you can discuss stuff. That is something which I don't know whether an AI can do. Of course, AI can do. But abhi, I think वो conversational mode पे there is still a long way to go.
No, no, that
But,
is, yeah, I think what you're saying
Hmm.
absolutely right. I mean, I'm not saying that AI is there for conversation. What I'm saying is that, see, when you have to teach
But
someone
then
some
play
things, right? You have to
against an
teach,
AI. वो तो
yes, you
chess.com
can
पे भी
play
आप कर ही
against an
सकते हो ना.
AI.
हम्म.
Right, right. तो basically क्या होगा कि when some basically student will start, right? There are some basic concepts he must like learn. So you can tweak and like artificial intelligence bot to explain him the concept one, concept two, concept three, concept four. Once he basically passes that, then he will have a tutor who would actually explain him what he basically did right or wrong in each of those like four parts, right? And then what happens is that you can tweak that basically artificial intelligence to actually create the right courses for different kind of students, right? That's how you can get that like you can actually get that hyper personalization with the help of uh, uh, this and that's how you will get a scale, right? You'll get a very very good like experience and you will get that scale with that.
सो इसमें दो चीजें मुझे बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग लगी। एक तो देयर लर्निंग आउटकम्स आर वेरी 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 टैंजिबल, कि इन फाउंडेशनल कोर्स आपने बेसिक सीखा, लेवल वन में यू परफॉर्म एट स्कूल और डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल टूर्नामेंट्स, एनीबडी इज अ पार्ट ऑफ लेवल वन दे विल मेक यू एनरोल एंड दे विल मेक यू compete। लेवल टू में परफॉर्म एट स्टेट लेवल, लेवल थ्री पे परफॉर्म एट नेशनल लेवल, and then you become an FID ready। Second thing very interesting is ये currency। So they are definitely targeting global. They are definitely targeting people who are in the US market also, right? And यहाँ पे I think again the idea is probably to earn more in dollars। The testimonials are also talking about people going to their first chess tournament। देखो एक होता है आप बस सीख रहे हो, दूसरा होता है भाई मैं आपको इस एग्जामिनेशन, यू आर सिटिंग देयर इन अ लेजिटिमेट कंपटीशन एंड competing against legitimate players। That gives you a different kind of confidence, and that actually shows you real life में where do you stand if you're learning something, right? They're very similar to probably if somebody is learning music and you are given an opportunity to go and compete in a music competition on a state level, or you get to perform in a certain place in your city. That has a very different kind of an ROI or a kind of a value add in a person's life। So I think there is a lot, I think from whatever I could gather from you guys, I think there's a lot of potential and these people are in the right path। All the best to the founders। We'll quickly move on to the next one and probably this will be the last one। और हमने मेरे ख्याल से तीन ही किए हैं, काफी स्लो जा रहे हैं हम आजकल। दिस इज नीमो केयर रक्षा neonatal wearable vital monitor, 1 crore for 2.5% equity। They got 20 lakh for two-third percent equity। two-third percent equity कितना हो गया फिर? 60 lakh for 2% equity। They got
Yes,
60 lakh for
exactly.
2% equity, yeah, technically।
Exactly. Yes, correct.
मतलब 1 CR for 2.5%। एक कैलकुलेटर लेके बैठना
30 CR
पड़ेगा
हो
ब्रो।
गया, 30 CR।
30 CR ना,
नहीं,
हाँ।
30 CR हो गया।
इन्होंने मांगा कितना था?
4 million के आसपास। 4 CR,
हाँ,
like 3 to 5, like 3 to 4 million।
इन्होंने मांगा कितना था? दे हैड आस्क्ड फॉर 40 करोड़ का वैल्यूएशन और इनको 30 करोड़ का
30 करोड़।
वैल्यूएशन है, नॉट बैड। प्लस 80 लाख डेट एट 10% फॉर 2 years। neonatal wearable vital monitor, नीमो केयर रक्षा। वेट लेट मी चेक, काफी इंटरेस्टिंग लग रहा है भाई। नीमो केयर रक्षा, अच्छा देयर इज अ कंपनी कॉल्ड नीमो केयर वेलनेस। दे आर ऑलरेडी क्वाइट बिग। इनका वेबसाइट देख के लग नहीं रहा कि amateurs हैं। What do we do at Nemo Care Wellness? They aims to end all preventable neonatal and maternal deaths in the developing world by building, it's a big market, and this is very much ingrained into the medicine line. If it works, this becomes a best standard। Pneumocare Raksha is a wearable on the newborn that continuously monitors the necessary vitals, used to detect apnea, hypothermia, or other distress conditions. An integrated diagnostic tool that connects wirelessly to a central platform, which ensures that the nurse can monitor all the babies simultaneously and alert when a distress condition is detected। इंटरेस्टिंग। सिंगल पेयर ऑफ हार्डवेयर। यार ये तो फिर ये डायरेक्ट मेरे ख्याल से ये बिजनेसेस, ये हॉस्पिटल्स को ही बिक रहा होगा। इंडस्ट्रियल डिजाइनर एंड अ टेक एंटरप्रेन्योर इन with skill sets spanning in the area of smart wearables। अच्छा, they already have ये सारे तो बिल गेट्स एंड मेलिंडा गेट्स फाउंडेशन। कुलमणि, any of these names make any sense for this kind of a business? Spin-off from the Fellowship in Healthcare Entrepreneurship program at the Center of Healthcare Entrepreneurship, IIT Hyderabad, which the founders are an alumni of। अच्छा, ग्लोबल भी है ये तो, बाहर मतलब दे आर गोइंग साउथ ईस्ट एशियन में जाकर के CII हेल्थ केयर इनोवेशन समिट में भी जीत करके आए हैं। Acha, CI Healthcare is a big name, yeah. GSBI. Okay. The product is there. About us. 1 million newborns. Acha, theek hai. Where are you? What's your number? No timely intervention. Acha, theek hai. In the news. Um, what's your take on
What are
this?
they doing? I'm not actually clear what that.
इनका ना एक प्रोडक्ट है.
What's happening
This is
actually?
called NemoCare. Okay. There is a physical device which gets, if when a baby is born, there are a lot of deaths which happen because you're not able to diagnose what problems the child is happening. Their vital stats are not taken at the right time, and probably nurses not are not around at the this thing. So what they have done is there is a device which gets attached to the baby when they are born, and this monitors the vital stats, and it is basically एक तो data. Second, ये अगर if there are any spikes in the vital stats, then it automatically alerts the nurse also. So vital parameters track for apnea, hypothermia, or any distress conditions which are, जैसे बच्चा पैदा होता है ना, बहुत सारी बीमारियां होने के चांसेस होता है. We have gone through this when our baby was born as well. So this device makes sense for a hospital. However, from an adaptability perspective, कितना बड़ा है adaptability is completely ये purely hospital को ही बिकेगा. There is from a GTM perspective, मुझे तो लग रहा है ये B2B product है, sold to hospitals, clinics and all of these places, and relationship driven selling होगी इसमें. प्रोडक्ट अच्छा होना चाहिए, प्रोडक्ट शुड गिव वैल्यू. नंबर वन कम्स द प्रोडक्ट, उसके बाद बिकेगा तो ये वाया द हॉस्पिटल्स एंड any kind of word of mouth or these things, which I think these people are doing a great job, because CII में इसमें मतलब they are becoming winners and all. At least in India, though, it makes kind of sense to, if they are present in the right places. ये
That's one
देखो
thing
ये
I'd like to add
Forbes
here,
में भी
Sujat.
आ गया. हाँ, क्या लगता है कुलमणि
Uh,
सर
just to
आपको?
give a
Sorry.
perspective of the market
Yeah,
size,
Vishal.
once I
Yeah,
give a
Vishal.
perspective of the market size, there are about 18,000, there are in fact exactly 18,000 NICU beds in India. NICU is neonatal ICU. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so that's the size of the market in India.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a growing market. Neonatal facilities are being expanded as we speak. And it's a focus market in the medical segment in India. What is more exciting about this is it would help our overall medical objective in as a nation to become a nation where people from everywhere can come in for the top quality treatment. This is just one more step in that direction. Thirdly, if you can tap into the NICUs in Asia, I don't know the European market that well for this because I've never done any project in the European or the US market in this segment. So, but if you can tap into the Asian market, then I don't see any problems with the uh, uh, GTM or the scaling up of the company. Subject, of course, to the quality of the device, and given what we have seen on the scene with the kind of people who have those logos on there, I don't see a problem with that. So they will. It's a B2B product. That is what I see it as, targeted specifically at the NICUs. Is where I see its utility. That's all from
And
my side of this.
ये काफी
So
पुरानी कंपनी है
Vishal,
वैसे. हाँ, बोलो बोलो कुलमणि.
Vishal, are you saying that this will help medical tourism industry in India?
See, if medical tourism is already a focus area for us, this is just one more move that makes us just that little bit more attractive.
Yeah, but medical tourism is very, very different, right?
It's very different. That's the point I raised to see to just to point out where this entire medical segment is going in India, and how attractive it is becoming. The more such initiatives come in, the more this segment rises in, and slowly it will start filtering down. That's what has happened in the past 10 years, and even in the NICU segment. Now, if you look at it, the expansion has been started slow, but now we have 18,000 beds in India, and even now, despite having 18,000 beds, what we are saying is we have only 18,000 beds. The demand
नहीं
is much
but
more.
hmm,
Yeah, I mean, see, care we can discuss anytime. See, demand and revenue are two different things. I think, in the
Hmm.
sense that, see, demand for us is coming from NCDs, non-communicable diseases, hypertension, blood pressure, lifestyle-related things. That's where the money will be made in healthcare in India in the next 30, 40 years.
Hmm.
Diabetes, we are the now the diabetic capital of India, sorry, of the world,
The world.
and 400 million diabetic and counting more, probably pre-diabetic more, add to 400 million, that will be fine. But here it's a good device. See, if you look at healthcare overall, there is no dearth of use cases of technology. I can give you 1,000 use cases of new technologies in healthcare. But when you go to the hospital, you find it very difficult to scale those technologies, right? So that is the challenge in healthcare. So such devices, I can give you, hundreds of devices which have come up over last 10 years, but have not taken off. They were supposed to be present in all urban hospitals. I don't see them anywhere. They were good use cases, very good use cases, solving a very specific problem. But when the rubber hits the road, it's very difficult to get the acceptance.
Very fair point. I never said it would be easy. I never said it would be easy, but this is targeted at a segment where, again, I have not had the time to study the device. But if it is something that is adding tremendous value in that particular segment, that is a segment where babies who are preterm or have certain health issues that immediately after birth, or like say jaundice or whatever, they have to go to the NICU, and they need such facilities for monitoring. I don't know if
Yeah,
they have them or not. As I said, I have not yet studied this in detail. But if they haven't, and if it's filling a gap, I don't see a challenge in scaling up. I didn't say it will be easy. Convincing them to buy in and sign on the line in a medical field is it's a layered process. It's a step process, and it has a lot of things that go into it. It will not be easy, but it's doable, is what I am saying. And I did not say that this will directly aid medical tourism. You are right. What I'm just saying is this is just one more step. This as a general technologies innovation, internal own our own technologies being developed. This this and many other such initiatives which you have yourself pointed out need to be encouraged simply because they make our country so much more attractive and they make the lives of more people so much better. So this is that's an emotional appeal. Emotion is a very key part of marketing, by the way. So I'm just making an emotional appeal here. But if I cut to the chase, yes, it will not be easy, but also yes, there is definitely a market there.
सब इसमें ना दो चीजें हैं कुलमणि विशाल। एक तो यार ये नई कंपनी है नहीं, ठीक है। इट्स अ वेरी ओल्ड कंपनी। एज आई वाज रिसर्चिंग आई फाउंड आउट इन्होंने 2017 में पहला पैसा उठाया है, ग्रांट $25,000। उसके बाद बिल्स एंड मेलिंडा गेट्स, अगेन 2017 हैज बीन अ ग्रेट ईयर फॉर देम एंड दिस इज द ईयर व्हेन दे वर फाउंडेड, 2017। 7 साल होने को आए हैं कंपनी को। बिल एंड मेलिंडा गेट्स फाउंडेशन गिव 100K. Then they got another grant from BIRAC, which is Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, $40,000. Then again in 2019, they got another grant for $70,000. Then they raised a seed from Axilor Ventures. और एक्सिलोर ने $15,000 क्यों दिए मुझे पता नहीं है। आई थिंक कुलमणि आप ज्यादा क्लैरिटी से बता पाओगे कि $15,000 देने का क्या सेंस बनता है। और प्रॉब्ली 150K होगा ये नंबर में गड़बड़ की है। Then they got an undisclosed amount from Mass Challenge. Mass Challenge is probably one of the competitions that these people were a part of. Then they basically got an undisclosed amount from Google for startups. This is probably the same. This is probably one of the competitions in which they probably won something, right? उसके बाद अभी 2024 में इन्होंने डेट और ये उठाया है फ्रॉम अमन गुप्ता। अमन ने डाला है पैसा इसमें 20 लाख और 80 लाख, तो 1 करोड़ इन्होंने मांगा था 2.5% इक्विटी के लिए। So this is the overall history. Now, Kulmani, tell me, where do you see the company standing? Because I am assuming 7 years is a long enough time for you to develop a product if this is your core product that you have been working on. इतने लोगों ने कॉन्फिडेंस दिखाया, इतने लोगों ने आपको ग्रांट्स दिए। अम,
Yeah.
फिर भी मेरे को
Yeah.
वेबसाइट पे बस इनको जिन लोगों ने दिया है उन्हीं का दिख रहा है। दे सेंटर फॉर हेल्थ
Yeah.
केयर
So
एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप।
is now and I'm launching in 2 years. So this is a typical time, 7, 8, 10 years is what it takes to perfect that technology and have that degree of confidence when you can go to the regulators and get that use case for yourself. So that time I'm not worried about. It's just that the amount they've raised, it does not, how did the last those 7 years, because they hardly raised how much? Under 200K, right? So I'm
हम्म।
not sure how much money did they put in and what their other sources of funding, which are probably not captured here, like state government or central government. They must have received other sources of funding, or maybe they're backed by a big medical, group or something like that. Not
ग्रांट्स
sure.
मिल रहे हैं सर, आई एम श्योर दे मस्ट बी गेटिंग ग्रांट्स द वे आई लुक एट इट।
Yeah.
Latest funding round में what is the use of funds statement? Is that available? Because you have to declare the use of funds. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kulmani.
मुझे नहीं होता सर ऐसा।
No, Vishal, typically for grants, what you have to do, you have to give a write-up, small write-up, and then they track, they release the money in tranches. So you have to keep showing your progress, right? That's all you have to do. Uh, at the time when you do the write-up or when you send your proposal, that's when the most of the scrutiny happens. Once it's approved, there is very little check and tracking because the money is not that much. Another thing, Suel, which I would like to highlight, if you just go back to that page when you were listing, other things where you were showing who they have received the funding from, there I saw 4 accelerators, right? Now, this is a red flag for any investor. Whenever you see on the cap table more than one accelerator or one incubator getting involved, that company for me becomes, very less likely that you should be putting money into that. Right?
This is probably two
Um,
accelerators only because one is 21st Feb and 27th Feb. So this is probably one accelerator. And this is 7 July and 19th August. So probably entry exit वाला scene होगा कुछ तो. But I think two
okay, okay.
accelerators are there. Two accelerators and two grants or rather four grants. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
So if, I mean, let's just making a point
ये
that if
देखो
you
ना सर,
see any
Mass
table.
Challenge and Google
Mhm.
for Startups are technically the accelerators slash incubators that they are talking about. और ये
Right,
जो पहला वाला है, this is this one, the BIRAC. This is the other
right,
accelerator. Yeah, 2019.
right.
Mm.
So that uh, kind of puts a doubt into investors' mind, right? How many motherships are you going to be attached, right? So it's always a dicey when you see too many accelerators slash incubators on the cap table or hold equity. You don't know, right? So that's
They've
also
got
a
US
red.
patents. They've got US patents.
Which is this is nothing new. Well,
Means
this is
that means
nothing new
that
in
means they're
healthcare.
targeting market
This is
अच्छा.
nothing new in health.
of the game entirely. Kulmani, if you
Healthcare.
get in mind, you think the funding is enough? Now I've got a very different question for you. If they've got a US patent, now the question is now reversed. So what's your take on that?
I mean, you know how many patents does Theranos have? This lady. I
हाँ,
mean, she. I used to read her full page sort of coverage in Wall Street.
हाँ,
People used to
हाँ,
celebrate her, and she had Henry Kissinger on the board.
हम्म,
So that's fine. I mean, weird things happen all the time. But in healthcare, it's okay. I mean, let's see. And my best wishes to them. My only thing is
yeah,
use cases are very a lot in healthcare. It's very difficult to get wider acceptance in medical community.
हम्म,
Absolutely agree with you there. My really a lot of wishes, great wishes, best wishes to the company. I hope they succeed. We are rooting for you, and we know we need many more such in the medical field to succeed. All the best. In fact, I
हम्म.
think all the startups today have been very fascinating.
Yeah,
So today
interesting
has been one of the
startups
best
for
sessions in
sure.
terms of choice, startup choice,
Yeah.
and
I
I
think
wish all of them succeed.
we did four of them today, fairly less, but I think we had a very long and comprehensive discussion on all of them. थोड़ा सा और इसको condense करेंगे, but I think with that, we'll close today's session. We started a little bit late, but we also have ended a little bit late as well. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining in. We'll see you guys again next week, same place, same time. I would like to thank all the panelists here, Vishal sir from Pune, Kulmani from Fibonacci Delhi, Akash. Akash, आप दिल्ली में हो, बैंगलोर में हो? आप तो दिल्ली में हो ना?
गुड़गांव।
Akash
हाँ,
also,
गुड़गांव।
Akash is also in Gurgaon, and I am now in Bangalore, and we are going to Dubai. So, in case anybody of you who is in the fintech ecosystem, we are basically partners for the Dubai Fintech Summit. In case you people want to be a part of our delegation, because we're taking a delegation from India there. In case you people want to be a part of it, please register. The link you'll find on our LinkedIn and all our social media handles. So please go. Please check out. Please, number one, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And number two, if you want to be a part of our India delegation, please register on the form, and we'll see you guys next week, same place, same time. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll sign off now.